Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to YMBA. It is, guess what day it is? It is July 4th, 2026. Some people call it Independence Day, but it really, truly is, even if you look at it from the perspective of the body, it's Interdependence Day. It's that interconnectedness between groups, whether it's groups of people or groups of body parts or groups of constellations. There is an interdependence that takes place in the entire universe, and certainly in terms of our universe here. We're just going to connect. I do this practice. It's part of what I call my interconnected flow, and I do this with all of my foundations movements. So as you sit here, just close your eyes. I go through these parts. I call them the pumping stations because, first of all, they pump awareness at the joints because it's a joint complex. It's made up of all kinds of mechanoreceptors, proprioreceptors. There's a lot of awareness in our joints that connect us into the brain and into our spatial relationship between ourselves and the world around us. They're pumping stations because when they move fluidly, they pump chi, they pump energy, they stimulate parasympathetic neurological stuff. So they're very, very powerful that way. Hi, Connie. Anyways, let's go through them. As you just sit here quietly with your eyes closed, just feel your feet. Sense your ankles. Sense your knees and sense your hips. That's part of your root center. Your root chakra is connected all the way down to the soles of your feet. And that's section one. Section two is your actual root, which goes to the feet, your sacrum, your solar plexus, what I sometimes call T12, and your heart. Then you take your awareness from your heart, third section, to your throat, to your brain and your crown. Those are your upper centers. The heart kind of being the mediator between the lower and the upper centers. And then we go to the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, and the hands. When I do my foundations, I go through all of those step by step. We're going to go through them playfully today. I want you to just don't try to say, can I feel those feet? He's already at the knees and I haven't touched the feet yet. Oh no, he's at the heart. Didn't he say the hips? Don't worry about it. Just playfully sweep through them. When we start paying attention, I mean really paying attention to our bodies, to our sensations, most of us, yours truly, certainly, start off and our awareness is like a flashlight whose batteries are almost gone. We don't have good awareness. Sometimes even we go to the hands, oh God, he already went back to the elbows. I didn't feel my hands yet. But the more we listen, the more we become more like an interactive laser. And we can become, suddenly you go big toe and your attention is there. Not just sensing the skin, but sensing all the way down to the energetic level of it. That's what awareness does, but it starts off very dull relative to the sharpness that it can become. Also, when you think foot, or when the mind thinks ankle, it's using the thinking portion of the brain, which is different from the awareness part of the brain. And suddenly you start to learn, and it happens naturally, that awareness begins to separate from our thoughts. And we can start to witness our thinking, which is a very powerful tool. I stopped reading Tolle's book, A New Earth, something like that, The New Earth, when I got to this sentence, because this sentence just bowled me over. And I've just been thinking that sentence like a mantra for the last 5 years, every day. Awakening happens when awareness separates from thought. Because then you have total control of your thoughts when that happens. when you totally separate, and I've felt a glimpse of this, and I've experienced it, and people around me see it in me, you start to put a dimmer switch on your thinking. I mean, when we're thinking strongly, we want to turn that dimmer switch up. But when we're done at that, we don't want to be 3 in the morning waking up and having our thoughts just pouring through us. We don't have control. We are not in control of our thinking. So the more you pay attention, when you think foot, when you think ankle, you're thinking and you're awareing. And slowly they start to separate. And there's many other ways to do that too, but this is a nice classic way. And we're just going to play with those pumping stations. So let's lie on our backs. And like I said, I go through them quickly, so you just scan through, and if you don't feel the feet by the time I've gotten to the knees, so what? Take your arms down and just relax. And get a sense of how you feel. Your legs, your torso, your arms, your head. And now press your hands, lightly rest your piggyback hands onto your navel. And by the way, if you don't want to scan through your body, you just want to feel the movements and so forth and the breathing, please have fun with that. And what we're going to do is gently press the navel to the ceiling on a 4 count and gently draw it back towards the floor on a 4 count. And we're going to go through those pumping stations as we do it. So it's going to go every count. I'm going to move to the next one. So think of it as a sweep rather than a stop, and I'm not going anywhere until I feel those knees. All right? With the metronome, we'll start first gently. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Continuing foot, ankle, knee, hip. Just go to the root on the exhalation, sacrum, T12, heart. And heart, throat, brain, crown, down to the shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands. The other way, inhaling hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, exhaling crown, brain, throat, heart, and heart, T12, sacrum, root, hips, knees, ankles, feet. And just let that go now and just lie there. Interdependence. Our elbow is every bit as dependent upon our knee as the elbow is to itself. And as you start to learn to feel these connecting points, you start to move and you say, I'm doing a tilt, but what is my elbow doing? And you see, oh, my elbow is doing something. It's contributing to this. Or your little finger. Very powerful awarenesses. Let's gently reach through our heels. Let's reach through our hands and gently create some nice length here. And we're going to again do the breathing and just gently go through those steps. And inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Very playfully now. Inhale, feet, ankles, knees, hips. Exhale, root, sacrum, T12, heart, and heart.